When Luka Doncic was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in the middle of the 2024-2025 season, it was certainly one of the most shocking and seismic moves in sports history. What made this whole thing so shocking was the fact that Luka was a superstar player who just led his Mavericks to the NBA Finals the season prior, as he was barely in his mid-20s and was seemingly getting better and better each year. It was also shocking because Luka seemingly had no desire to leave Dallas on his own, yet they traded him away for apparent health concerns, for a guy who's been famously dealing with health concerns his entire career. This all set up one of the most historic revenge games in NBA history, as Luka returned to Dallas on April 9, 2025, as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. I was in attendance during that game, and I witnessed Luka drop 45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals, while the entire arena was endlessly chanting "Fire Nico." This meant that Luka dropped 45 points in a game as a member of the Mavericks, and he dropped 45 points against the Mavericks in the same season. Luka is only the second player in NBA history to accomplish this feat. Wilt Chamberlain did it 60 years earlier. Michael Jordan is one of, if not the greatest player of all time. But he's also a player who typically had a good relationship with the referees.
Michael, I didn't see 2 hands on him, Michael. But I believe you.
You did.
But I believe you. I only saw the 1 hand.
Throughout the entirety of Michael Jordan's 15-year NBA career, he was never ejected from a basketball game, except on one crazy night with a thrilling contest. On February 3rd, 1992, the Bulls were in a matchup with the talented Utah Jazz. It is now triple overtime of this epic battle, and there's roughly 15 seconds left on the game clock. The Bulls are down by 2 points when Michael Jordan gets the inbounds pass. He accelerates and hits a clutch basket like he's done so many times before. On the other end, Michael has to play defense on the 2-time All-Star Jeff Malone. As Malone attacks, MJ goes for the strip and is hit with the whistle. To say that Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan were irate at the call would be an understatement. For the most part, the ref is simply taking the heat and exchanging words. But it isn't until this moment when MJ makes contact with the ref that he's thrown out of the game. MJ would also be suspended for 1 additional game for the bump. For a while, MJ refused to leave the court, until Phil Jackson told him to do so. The result is that Chicago loses the game 126-123, in what was the one and only instance in Michael Jordan's professional career where he had been ejected out of the game. Getting ejected from a basketball game is usually an embarrassing moment, but there's way more embarrassing things that can happen on a basketball court, and these next few facts will be some of those things. For example, on November 17, 2000, Jason Kidd had a performance that would haunt him for years. His Phoenix Suns were taking on the New York Knicks, and although Jason did get a triple-double, it could have been considered as a quadruple-double depending on how you look at it, as Kidd had an NBA record 14 turnovers in this contest. That was as many as the entire opposing team. It's incredible that the Suns only lost this game by 5 points, and although it was a horrific night, it wouldn't stop him from becoming a Hall of Famer and perennial All-Star. Chris Dudley is a former NBA center, who's famous for being on a poster of what is quite possibly the most embarrassing defensive play of all time. With that being said, that probably was not the most embarrassing game of his basketball career, because on April 14th of the 1990 season, Dudley missed an NBA record 13 free throws in a row. That's a streak that would even make guys like Wilt Chamberlain and Ben Wallace blush. In total, he was only 1 out of 18 from the free throw line. Talk about a night you'll never forget. Although Chris Dudley is still the NBA's record holder for the most consecutive free throws missed in a single game, he is not the record holder for the most free throws missed in a single game. Which brings us to our next fact. On January 20th, 2016, Andre Drummond had a performance for the ages, but it wasn't a positive one. On the night, Andre would have struggled to hit water if he was shooting off a boat. The opposing Houston Rockets implemented a hack-a-Drummond strategy, which resulted in him shooting a whopping 36 free throws. Of those 36 attempts, Drummond missed a grand total of 23 shots, which is still the NBA record for the most free throws missed in a single game by a single player. What's amazing is that even though he set the record for the most free throws missed in a game, he was still more efficient on this night than his seasonal average, as he was hitting only 35.5% of his free throws on the year, which was the second worst seasonal average in NBA history. If Andre Drummond was building himself a house of bricks, then he would have made several mansions this season. The 2012 to 2013 Denver Nuggets were actually a pretty darn good team, loaded with depth and talent, as they won 57 games in the regular season. But you wouldn't know it if you were looking at this group specifically on December 20th, 2012. On this night, even if they had Ben Simmons as their shooting coach, it might have helped, as the Nuggets took 22 three-point attempts in that contest, and they missed each and every single one of those attempts. Even to this day, that is the most three-pointers taken by a team without a single made shot. And given the fact that there are more three-pointers taken today, the odds of this record ever being broken are incredibly slim. This may just be an embarrassing record that haunts them until the end of time. So now it's your turn. What is one of the most embarrassing things that you've seen in the NBA? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.